sail on, sail on, my little honeybee, sail on now. Sail on now. Lord, I don't mind your sailing, but please don't sail so long.
Hello everyone, Davey Simpson with the Surry County Beekeepers. Today we're out at a local home that gave us a call and said they had honeybees in their house. And last week I came out here and took a look at them, and we determined that they were coming in just beside of the doorway in their garage. And after inspecting, we realized that they're not up in the soffit, they're around on the back side, right here, just inside of the doorway. And we've already done a little bit of prep work. If I can get Chad to come around here, we'll show you what we've done. We've exposed this piece of sheetrock, took all the trim work off of it, and we're fixing to take this off and hopefully find the bees. There's a couple of ways that you can find bees in a house. Number one, you can stick your ear up to the wall and you can just lightly tap on it and they should start buzzing. You can hear the buzz through the wall. On this one, the wall is super cool right here, but when you get up in this area, there is a significant heat increase in this area right here, and I can also hear the bees behind this wall. Few things that we need to have when we're doing a job like this. We've got our bee vac that we're going to use to suck the bees up with. We also have plenty of equipment to transfer the bees into when we get done. We use rubber bands to secure the comb into empty frames, but we only transfer brood comb. It's not feasible to transfer honeycomb. It's too heavy, it doesn't travel well, not secured in the hive. So the only thing that we will transfer will be brood comb. Also, when you're taking out brood comb out of the wall, you need to pay attention of the orientation of it. It needs to go back into a frame in the same way that you took it out of the house. The reason being is the cells are built with a slight angle down, so they need to be the same angle when you put them in your comb or into your frame as what it came out of the wall as. So we're going to expose this wall and get to the bees, and we'll show you video footage as we make progress. Okay, so other tools that we're going to need to do this cutout is we use just a regular kitchen knife to cut the comb out with. Always a good idea to carry a hive tool with you for scraping purposes. One of the most important tools is the bee vac. This is a homemade bee vac. You can buy bee vacs that are already put together, but this one I just took 2 5-gallon buckets, and the bottom bucket is nothing more than a stand that I cut a hole out in the front upside down for the hose to go through, and there's a cage in here to catch your bees as the vac sucks them in. And if Chad will look down in the bottom there's a piece of PVC pipe that comes up through the bottom, and that slides down over that hole, and the bees are sucked up into the cage. And the way we get our vacuum is the hose that is attached to the top is attached to a shop vac. Pulls vacuum up from the bottom of the bucket, which in turn comes through the hose and dumps the bees out into the cage. Another important feature on this is we've cut a hole out in the side. This is to control your vacuum pressure. The more you close the hole up, the stronger the pressure is. The more the hole you got showing, the less that you have. And when you're sucking the bees, you just barely want to pull them off the comb. That way you're not damaging them. They're as well as they can be. Other equipment is we've got a queen cage. If we're lucky enough to find the queen, we have something to put her in. We also carry a queen clip, so we can just throw her in there. Either one of these right here will work. We would prefer to put her into a queen cage. That way we can strap her to a frame when we put her in the box and release her when we get them to our apiary location. Okay, there is a couple of things that we've failed to mention. It is not recommended to do this kind of what we would call a cutout unless you are familiar with construction. Also, unless you're absolutely comfortable doing this type of thing, I would not recommend doing it at all. One other thing that I forgot to mention was gloves. We use dishwashing gloves. When we're taking this comb out, it's going to get really sticky, and the only thing we have to do is go over and dip our hand down in some water and wash them off and just keep going. The bees will sting you through these, but it's not as bad as the bare skin. So we've got this sheetrock here tore off, and we're now going to open it up and see what the hive behind the wall looks like. And there it is. Pretty good little hive of bees there. We try to do this and keep the bees as calm as we can for as long as we can. Eugene will take that and bump them down in the box. And right here we're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 comb deep and about 18 inches high. And we're always on the lookout for the queen. I wouldn't expect to see her in this part. I would expect to see her more towards the center of the hive, the colony. So now we will start to vacuum bees.
Bird on a tree, I'm just sitting here. I got time, it's clear to see.
As you can see, as we're vacuuming, we're not actually getting all the bees every time that we make a pass. We've got to go back over it 2 or 3 times. This is an indication that we do have a good vacuum pressure, and as we're vacuuming, we are constantly looking for the queen.
We meant to be in the great outdoors, forever free. take a step back to see the truth around you. From a distance you can tell.
It is also important that when you start vacuuming bees, that you continue to run your vac through the entire process to keep fresh air going through the cage, so the bees will not overheat. They will overheat very quickly with no air circulation. I'm suspecting also that this right here would have been a swarm from this year. This comb right here is really, really light in color. It's all brand new stuff. So these bees haven't been here very long at all. Now this is the part here where we're just starting to cut the comb, and I will start handing it to Eugene, and he will start putting it into frames ready to put into the hive. We go with the connection where it's connected. And just cut it. Very carefully bring it out. And the first thing I want to do is look for the queen. And we've got some cat brood in here, right in this area here. And I do not see the queen. Eugene, you want to suck those bees off so they help you when you can tell just by him going over this that there's not much suction on that vac, and that's what we really want. We could use maybe just a little bit more, but you don't want to harm the bees when you're sucking them up. And we're just trying to get the majority off, so it'll be easier for Eugene to cut this comb and put it into a frame. Came out like that, and that's the exact way he will need to put it back into the frame. Piece of comb that's got a lot of brood on it. And at this point, I'm just, as quick as he takes a piece, I am cutting another piece. I'll get it down and I'll look at it for the queen. Do not see her there. see her there.
Let me get it.
This is all brand new comb, and you really have to support it very well when you're holding it in your hands, or it'll just break or bend. And we want to keep it as pristine as we can. So right there's the queen. So we have found her. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to hand this off to Eugene. And I'm going to take my gloves off. she's in the cage now. So we know exactly where she's at. Also, what I'm going to do is take just a few attendant bees and place in the cage with her.
Okay.
Said I would. The attendant bees, you really want to grab them by the wings. They will sting you. And then just as long as you get their head going down into the hole, they'll just go right in. And then put a cork on the end, and you've got a caged queen. And there she is. Now that we have found the queen, we can just suck these and we don't have to look. We won't have to be looking for the queen. So we can be a little bit more deliberate about what we're doing. Now we're going to be just cleaning up, getting all the comb out of the wall. Eugene, do you have a wax bucket? You just set it right there.
Right there?
Yep. That's all the, if you want to get that queen, and she's right here.
All right, I'm gonna put her between those two.
We'll just wrap it up now and getting all the straggling bees, getting all the remaining comb. See, that's just food that they were storing in, honey, and it'll go into the wax bucket. Okay, so now what we'll do is, I've got some straggler bees here that's going to be really hard to get. So we'll take a break and we'll go ahead and dump what bees we have sucked up in our vac. While these are, they will come and gather somewhere in one of these corners, and then we'll come back and we'll suck them up in just a few minutes. So what we done is we took some insulation and plugged the entrance hole up, and as the field bees are coming back in to land, the vac is just sucking them right into the cage. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and dump this cage out. We may or may not suck some more bees up. There's not very many left. But like I said earlier, as soon as the vac is cut off, it's a very short time before these bees in here will start overheating. When you pull this cage up, you need to put your hand directly on the bottom to cover that hole up to keep as many bees in the cage as you can. And there they all are. They're all clustered up to the top. There's quite a few bees in there. And we have the queen in the bottom. And she is caged, so shouldn't be no trouble with the bees staying in the box. And they were super calm, but these bees coming out right here, they're a little ill. They're bumping me pretty hard. So it's important to have all your safety gear on when you're doing this. And we'll suck those bees up because there's quite a bit going straight back to the entrance to where they were going into the wall. And then we will probably give them one more shake and be done. Okay, so we finished vacuuming all the bees up, and we're going to take the cage out, but instead of dumping them in the hive, we're going to plug up the hole on the bottom, and we're going to put them in the vehicle and transport them to the location where the hive's going to be and dump them in at that time. That way the bees aren't flying up in the air, and we can go ahead and wrap this job up. Just put a few staples in it just to hold it down during transport. And like I said earlier, you don't want to transport these bees with them in the bucket. They will overheat very quickly, and they will die. So, but if we transport them like this, it's no different than them being in a package, and they will do very well. I'd like to thank Chad for videoing this cutout for us. And if you like the videos, please subscribe to our channel. Click the like button and share the video. And then on the right hand side of the page is a little bell icon. You can click that bell icon and you can get notifications every time that we put a new video up. And as always, happy beekeeping.